Good morning everybody. Today we shall understand how to use simple past tense. Please look at your monitors. The uses of simple past tense. To begin with, I lived, we lived, you lived. He lived, she lived, they lived. In simple past tense, if you look at the verb, it takes the ed form, that is, the past tense is marked with suffix ed. I lived in Bangalore. Lived. We lived in Bangalore. You lived in Bangalore. You lived in Bangalore. I lived in Bangalore. We lived in Bangalore. You lived in Bangalore. He lived in Bangalore. She lived in Bangalore. They lived in Bangalore. Now, the past tense marker is what? The suffix. That is the ed form. Now, the word lived is a regular verb. Now, what happens if I use an irregular verb? For example, I bought a house. We bought a house. You bought a house. Similarly, he bought a house. She bought a house. They bought a house. So, here in the simple past tense, the verb takes which form? An ed form. Now, let us look how in the regular verb, the verb takes an ed form. And let us also have a look of irregular verbs, the changes that irregular verbs take. The jump of present tense is what? Jumped. Look at that, ed. Talk of present tense is what? Talked, ed. Design of present tense is what? An ed, designed. Work of present tense is what? In the past tense it is ed. Play in the present tense is what? Played, that is ed. So, these are the lists of irregular verbs. I have just given you a sample of regular verbs. These are the list of regular verbs. I have given you a sample of regular verbs. That is, it takes a suffix. What is the suffix? The suffix is an ed. Now, let us look at the list of irregular verbs. The present tense of go is what? Went. Bite is bit. Drink is drank. Eat is ate. Dig is what? Dug. This is also a sample example I have given you. That is, here in the list of irregular verbs, it does not have a suffix. So, what are we supposed to do? Now, in order to understand the simple past tense, we have to first identify which are the regular verbs. The moment you identify the list of regular verbs, you can add an ed form to it. Very simple. Now, where is the point of difficulty? The point of difficulty is that you have to go through and master the list of irregular verbs here, because irregular verbs are called irregular because it does not follow the pattern of a regular verb. Why? Go does not become goed. Bite doesn't become bited. Drink doesn't become drinked. Eat doesn't become eated. Dig doesn't become digged. It doesn't become, because these are list of irregular verbs. So the first thing, in order to understand English, if I am using a particular verb in simple past tense, I have to know the list of regular verbs, and then I should add an ed form. That is very easy. Then I should master the list of irregular verbs. ಒಂದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಡಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಅದು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅನದರ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಯಾವ ತರಹ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿನ ರೀತಿಯನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ to the previous example, I have given you one example of a regular verb, that is live ed, and buy is in the present tense, bought is in the past tense. Now this bought is what? An irregular verb. I have given you two examples here. One, the example of a regular verb. The other, the example of an irregular verb. Now, having understood this, let us try to understand the uses of simple past tense. Simple past tense is used to refer an event that took place at some specific point of time in the past. ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಘಟನೆ specific time reference ಇದ್ದರೆ, specific time reference, correct ಆದ time reference, where there is no confusion at all, ಯಾವ ತರಹ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವ ಟೈಮ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಆಗ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದರೆ ಆಗ ನಾವು ಯಾವದ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಈವನ್ ದಟ್ ಟುಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. And the second one is this should have been in the past. Adu past alli irbeku. Let us see the example. My father retired in June 2013. Which is a verb here? Retire. It has taken which form? An ed form. So this is a regular verb. Now, is there a specific time reference? Yes, there is a specific time reference. What is the specific time reference here? June 2013. This is the specific time reference. Let us see the second example. I bought a new house in December 2012. Bought is what? An irregular verb. ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ed ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದು ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಓದಿದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಬಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್. ಫೈನ್. ಅ ನ್ಯೂ ಹೌಸ್, is there a specific time reference here? Yes, in December 2012. Here we use simple past tense. Let us look at the third example. Savita graduated from the Bangalore University. Now, which is a verb here? You are right. The verb here is what? Graduate, graduated. Why? It has got an ed form here. Now, is there a specific time reference? Yes, Bangalore University. When did she graduate? Last year. Now, in all these three examples, if we look, we see there are two things. An event has happened some specific point in time. At some specific point in time, this particular event has happened. One. Second, when it has happened in the past, it has happened. Now, this is how we use the simple past tense, one way of using. Now, let us look at the second way. To a state that existed during some period in the past. That is, ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಘಟನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಸ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರುವ ಘಟನೆ. An act or an event that happened sometime in the past. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಘಟನೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರುವ ಘಟನೆ, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೇವೆ? ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೇವೆ. Raju was extremely naughty in his childhood. Now, where is this? Was is in a past tense is was. My cycle was in the garage for 3 weeks. Once again was. India was under the British rule for more than 2 centuries. Now in all these 3 states, I am talking of a particular state of event that happened at some point of time in the past. Past ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಘಟನೆ ನಡೆದಿರೋ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. Let us try to understand this first sentence. Raju was extremely naughty in his childhood. Now which is a helping verb? Was is a helping verb. Here I am talking of some state that existed at some point in time in his childhood. Avara childhood alli, chikka vayasnalli, how was he? He was naughty. Now childhood is what? A period. Now what particular period? It is referring to a particular state. Avana sthitiya bagge maatadutte. Childhood anodu, it is a period. Naughty anodu is a state. So here also we use what this particular past tense is used. The third way of using past tense is to an event which occurred at intervals during some period in the past. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಘಟನೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಾತ್ಕಾಲಿಕ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ವಿರಾಮದ ವಿಷಯದ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಂಟರ್ವೆಲ್ಸ್, ಒಂದು ಘಟನೆ ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಘಟನೆ, ಸಮ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವೆಲ್ಸ್, ಯಾವ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ? ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರಬೇಕು? ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರಬೇಕು. Now let us look at the sentence. I got up at 3 in the morning when I was a student. Where is the verb? Got. Now when did you get up? At 3. At what time? Morning. When did this happen? When I was a student. Now what is this when I was a student? This particular event of getting up at 3 and that too in the morning has happened when I was a student. ನಾನು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ದಿನ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 3 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಮುಂಜಾನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏಳುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. Event which occurred at intervals. ಒಂದು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಂಟರ್ವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, right? During some period in the past. Past ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದ ಘಟನೆ. Let us see the second example. My professor visited several universities in America once in 2 years. Which is a verb? Visited. How do you say it is a verb? It is followed by a suffix ed. Now what did the professor do? He visited several universities. Now how many times has he visited? At intervals, once in 2 years. 2 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಒಮ್ಮೆ. And when did this happen? Some period in the past. Why? I have used here the ed form. Similarly, she prepared sweets every Sunday when her children were small. Which is a verb here? Yes, you are right. Prepare, ed, prepared. Sweets every Sunday. That was a work. When did she prepare? When her children were small, when she had small kids. At that point in time, she prepared what? She prepared sweets. Third way. Now the fourth way is that to indicate habitual past. Now to indicate habitual past, we use which tense? Simple past tense. Now how do I use in a simple past tense? I use it with the help of the particular words like what? Used to. ಯಾವ ಪದದಿಂದ ನಾನು simple habitual past ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ? With the words like used to. used to ಅನ್ನೋ ಪದ. Like what? Pratibha used to be extremely naughty in her childhood. Sorry, it has got repeated. Pratibha used to be extremely naughty. Now used to be, used to ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನು? It indicates what? It indicates a habitual past. Similarly, I have repeated the same sentence I have said in the previous slide. I used to get up at 5 in the morning when I was a student. Now, why have I repeated the same thing? Because here I can say the same thing in a different way, right? ಅದೇ information ಅನ್ನ ಎರಡು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ past tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. That is the reason I am repeating the same sentence. I used to get up at 5 in the morning when I was a student. So, used to get up at 5. Now, in order to indicate habitual past, ಯಾವ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಲಸ ನನಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಸೂಚಿಸುವುದಕ್ಕೆ with the help of the word used to ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ I can state that particular word to indicate what? To indicate the habitual past and to indicate which tense? Simple past tense, used to. Now, another way to indicate past tense is that in indirect speech, direct speech and indirect speech. Now, in direct speech I shall say I know. I know is which tense? Present tense. I will return is in which tense? Present tense. I like it is in which tense? Present tense. I have to put it in past tense. Now, which particular speech do I use? I use the speech indirect. I know, when I say it in direct speech, pratyaksha bhashana. When I say it in indirect speech, paroksha bhashana. Now, when I say I know, how do I put it in indirect speech? He said that, he knew. In which tense is it? It is in past tense. When I say I will return, now how do I put it in indirect speech? He said that he would return. Would return. When I say I like it, he said that he liked it. Ed, liked it. Even in indirect speech, which particular tense form do we use? We use the simple past tense form. Now, by using past tense of verbs, I have given you 3 examples here. What are they? Let us look at the examples first. I thought that I would come to your house this evening. I thought, that is mark the verbs. I thought that I would come to your house this evening. 1. I wondered if I could borrow your laptop. I wondered if I could borrow your laptop. Did you want to talk to me? Did, and once again want. Now, look at these sentences. Now, these sentences indicate what? The speaker's attitudes and feelings. Now, I thought that I would come to your house this evening. The very thought indicate what? It indicates feelings. Now, what does these utterances indicate? These sentences indicate more tentative and polite. Tumba polite agi, tentative agi kodtira kodalva athava polite agi sabhyavagi ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. Though the time reference is present. Time reference ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಯಾವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ? ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್. ವರ್ಬ್ ಯಾವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೂ ಸಹ. ಇದು ಯಾವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ? ದ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ past tense in a verbs ಅನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. It talks about what? Speaker's attitude. ಯಾವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಕೋನದಿಂದ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. It talks about speaker's attitude. The word thought, the word wondered indicate what? Indicate the attitude of the speaker. Now, let us compare it with the present time reference. What is this? Let us do it one by one. Did you want to talk to me? Now, what could be the present time reference? Instead of the word did, I use the word do. Do you want to talk to me? I wondered if I could borrow your laptop. Now, instead of the word wondered, I can say I wonder if I can. Instead of the word could, I can use the word I can borrow your laptop. I thought that I would come to your house this evening. Instead of the word thought, I can use the word I think that I will come to your house. Now, look at the differences. When I say I thought I would come to your house, when I say I wondered if I could borrow your laptop, when I say did you want to talk to me, all these utterances that are listed here in front of your monitor show these are polite utterances. But when I say do you want to talk to me, when I say I wonder if I can borrow your laptop, when I say I think that I will come to your house, what does it show? It shows the sentences are demanding. Present tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ sentences ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗಿದೆ. I will come to your house ಅನ್ನೋದೇನು, ನೀನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯಾ, ನಾನು ಖಂಡಿತ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ, even if you don't invite me I will come ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. Whereas the same thing when it is put in the past tense makes it very polite, very tactful in the sense that it shows that the speaker is giving importance to the listener's thoughts and feelings. Speaker ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಲಿಸ್ನರ್ ಇನ ಥಾಟ್, ಲಿಸ್ನರ್ ಇನ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. That is the difference. Now, when you use such constructions, make sure there is a difference. One in the past tense, which is very polite. If I use it in the present tense, it is very abrupt and demanding. I use past tense also to indicate hypothetical past. That is what? Hypothetical past means which is contrary to speaker's beliefs and expectation. ಮಾತನಾಡುವವರ ನಂಬಿಕೆ, ಅವರ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರರಿ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ. Or what the speaker considers impossible, ಅಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೋ ಅಂತಹ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ I use which particular tense? I use simple past tense. Let us see the example. If I knew the truth, I would tell you. Where is the verb? Knew. If I knew the truth, I would tell you. If I were young, where is the verb? I would have enjoyed the party. Now, if I knew the truth talks about what? Speaker's beliefs contrary. Speaker in a expectation contrary. Speaker in a ನಂಬಿಕೆಗೆ ವಿರೋಧವಾಗಿದೆ. If I knew the truth. If I would tell you expectation ಗೆ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ಭಿನ್ನವಾಗಿದೆ. Similarly, look at the second example. If I were young. This sentence indicate what? The speaker considers his being young. ಇನ್ನು ಅವನು young ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. Which is near to what? Impossible. ಅಸಾಧ್ಯ. Hypothetical past ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಯಾವ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೇವೆ? Simple past tense. Hypothetical past continued. Now, these examples that we have seen, let us look at these examples first. I wish I had the talent to paint her. I wish I had the talent to paint her. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Here the speaker wishes the impossible wishes. ಅಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿರುವ ವಿಶಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದ ದಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಹಿಸ್ ಕಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೀ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅದು ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದಿಟ್ ಶೋಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಪೋಥೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್. ಇದು ಸಹ ಹೈಪೋಥೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೂಚಿಸುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Secondly, the tense in the main clause is in the present tense. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಿಶ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನನ್ನ ಸೂಚಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ವಿಶ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೇನು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಇದು ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಐ ವಿಶ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಈ ವಿಶ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಪದ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಯಾವ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. Whereas in the following subordinate clause it is in the past tense. I had ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೇಗಿದೆ, I knew ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಿದೆ, had ಮತ್ತೆ knew ಯಾವ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, it's in the past tense. I had, I knew is in the past tense. Now these sentences, if you look more closely, we see there is no absolute correspondence between tense and time. Tense ಮತ್ತೆ time ಗೆ ಯಾವ ತರಹದ correspondence ಇಲ್ಲ. Of course, simple past tense is not merely used to indicate past time. It can also be used to indicate other time references as well. Now we shall understand what we have done today. First, we began by saying what is a simple past tense. We understood by understanding what is a simple past tense. I said with the help of regular and irregular verbs you can understand a simple past tense. Regular verbs are what? Lived. Irregular verbs are what? Bought. I lived in Bangalore. We lived in Bangalore. I bought a house. We bought a house. The past tense marker for regular verbs is what? An ed form. So we have to understand the difference between a regular verb and an irregular verb. Jump, jumped. Talk, talked. Design, designed. Work, worked. Play, played. Now a list of irregular verbs. Go, went. Bite, bit. Drink, drank. Eat, ate. Dig, dug. Having understood this, then what are the uses of simple past tense? The first point we understood was it refers to an event that happened in the past, one that happened at some specific point of time. It has some specificity in terms of time. Let us look at the first example. My father retired in June 2013. Father's retirement happened in the past and it also talks about the specific point of time. To a state that existed during some period in the past. It talks about a state of happening that was there sometime in the past. Raju was extremely naughty in his childhood. Third way is that it refers to an event that happened in the past. It would have occurred at intervals during some period in the past. Some intervals, ಒಂದು ಸಮಯ, ಒಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರುವ ಘಟನೆ. I got up at 3 in the morning. I got up at 3 in the morning when I was a student. Look at the word, when I was a student, I got up at 3. Now, when he was a student refers to what? An event that occurred at some point of time in the past. It has occurred at intervals at some point of time in the past. It also indicates habitual past. Now, how can we use the word to indicate habitual past with the help of this particular word, used to? Instead of saying Pratibha was extremely naughty in her childhood, I can also use the word used to. I can use the word used to indicate what? Habitual past. I used to get up at 5. Instead of saying I got up at 5, I can say I used to get up at 5. Now, with the help of the words used to, I can state what? A habitual past. Even in indirect speech, I can state which particular form of tense? Simple past tense. I know, he said. What can I say? He said that he knew. Now, the verb in the subordinate clause is what? Is in the past tense. And if the reporting verb is in the past tense also, we have, instead of saying that he say, we are using what? Here also in the past tense. I will return. He said that he would return. He said that he liked it instead of I like it. Now, I have brought out in this particular slide the difference between using the past tense and the present tense while expressing certain utterances. I have said that if I use the word I thought that I would come to your house this evening is more polite, ತುಂಬಾ ಸಭ್ಯ, tentative, ಸ್ಪೀಕರಿನ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. But if I put it in the present tense form, what is the present tense form? I think that I will come to your house this evening is more demanding. The past tense is very polite. The past tense is very tactful, intelligent. And while talking, the reference, what is the reference time? ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? The reference time is present here. I thought ಅನ್ನೋದು past ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಸಹ the reference time is what? The reference time is present. I wonder if I can borrow your laptop. Most polite way of saying is, more polite way of saying is what? I wonder if I could borrow your laptop. Wonder ge ed form. I wondered. Do you want to talk to me? Polite way. Did you want to talk to me? Is more polite. So here it shows this, why it is more polite. It shows that the speaker is giving importance to the listener's thoughts and feelings. To convey hypothetical past also, we use the simple past tense. What is hypothetical past? It refers to the speaker's beliefs and expectations, which is contrary, that is one thing. Second, it talks about the speaker's impossibility to reach the particular possibility, which is the first example that we looked at. If I knew the truth, I would tell you. Now, what does it show? It shows that the speaker is talking about certain beliefs and expectation which is contrary. He doesn't know the truth. Then that is why the speaker is talking. The second one is, if I were young, I would have enjoyed the party. Now the speaker says, if he was young, he would have enjoyed the party. It talks about something very, very impossible. Now I have given you in the second set of examples. It is titled Hypothetical Past Continued, but these examples I have listed here with a difference. I wish I had the talent to paint. It is hypothetical past. ನಡೆಯದೇ ಇರುವ past. Hypothesis. Imagine ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Now, this once again talks about speaker's wishes, that is the impossible wishes of the speaker. There is another major difference. The tense in the main clause is in the present tense. I wish ಅನ್ನೋದು wish ಅಂತ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. Which in what tense is it? It is in the present tense. Whereas the tense in the subordinate clause is in the past tense. I wish I had. I wish I knew. Subordinate clause tense ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? Past tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. Now what does it indicate? It shows that in past tense too, there is no absolute correspondence between tense and time. I hope today you have understood simple past tense. If you have understood simple past tense, you should be able to add appropriate past tense forms for all the 10 sentences. I shall read these sentences slowly. Now make sure whether you are going to add a suffix ed or an irregular verb. I will do the first 2 sentences for you. The remaining 8 sentences shall be done by you. Jack buys some eggs. You know pretty well the word buy is an irregular verb. So, what is a past tense form? You are right, bought. This is an irregular verb. The servant opened the door. Now here you can add a suffix. The servant opened the door. I shall read the third sentence slowly. Please add the appropriate past tense forms. Tommy within brackets fall and hurt his arm. Fourth sentence, he within brackets hold onto the branch with one hand. Fifth, they within brackets show him some games. Sixth sentence, I within brackets write letters on Sunday. Seventh sentence, he within brackets look at the pictures on the wall. Eighth sentence, Tommy within brackets open his mouth and shut his eyes. The ninth one, John within brackets pull out 3 of his teeth. The 10th one, the little boy within brackets stand on a chair. I hope you have got the answers. I have got another exercise for you. You remember day before yesterday we did the present tense forms. Now please add the appropriate simple present tense form here. I shall do 2 sentences for you. The remaining shall be done by you. She go to school. Now what do you add? For appropriate simple, sorry, simple is left out here, appropriate simple present tense forms. She go to school every day. You're right. She goes to school. You're adding which form? An ES form. We now learn English. Yes, you're right. You have to add what? A suffix. What is that suffix? Yes. We now learns English. Am I right? No, I am wrong. You're right. What do? I just say we learn English. Why do I say we learn English? If you remember my lecture, I have already told you the word learn takes an S form only when it is in third person singular. He, she, it. It takes an S form, that is learns. When I say I, we, you and they, it doesn't take an S form. Now how am I to write it? I shall write it, we now learn English. Please do the rest of the sentences. The sun always shine in Egypt. The 4th sentence, I sit on a chair and eat an apple. You have got 2 verbs to write here. 5th sentence, bad students never work hard. Let's look at the 6th sentence. It rain in winter, it rain now. The hint is that I have began the sentence with which word? Third person singular? Yes, third person singular, it. I wake up at 7 and have breakfast at 9. 8th sentence, she generally sing in English, but today she sing in French. Look at that, he, she, it. 9th sentence, the teacher point at the blackboard when he want to explain something. Point, you have to change, then want. The 10th one, mother cook some food in the kitchen at present. She always cook in the morning. Now I have substituted the word she for what? Mother. This is another hint. The teacher, it could be he or she. It is first person singular, I. Let's go back and see. The sun is what? He, she, it. The sun, it. I is first person singular. Bad students, it is in which form? It is in plural form. Now, I want you to write these answers and respond to me. Please give me your questions so that I can answer them. Please give me your questions. Thank you. Thank you.